know some people aren't going to agree with me with this, but the celebrity world is cursed. And I'm going to tell you why the creator has cursed the celebrity world. Okay. And I mean, there's a chance that you might not get the curse if you become a celebrity, but this download is very important to get. Okay. Please take this download serious. I've been feeling this download coming through for a long time. And this will explain why some of y'all divine ones got some unexplained sadness that y'all can't figure out why y'all sad. Okay? There's a lot of divine ones that's not celebrities, and y'all feel like something's real dark and wicked in the world, or y'all feel like almost like this sadness you can't put a finger on. Okay? In the celebrity world is to blame. Now, I'm gonna talk about this. The celebrity world is cursed, y'all. The creator has cursed it, and only a few celebrities are going to heaven. Not many of them are not going. Many of them are not going up. Okay, I'm gonna talk about this in a minute. I'm gonna wait till we get a few more people in here. So the celebrity world is cursed because we're not allowed to be filthy rich and marry filthy rich. I know some of y'all gonna argue with me, but it's forbidden. Okay, because the creator wants the wealth to be shared. See, the creator wants rich people to make other people rich who's never been rich before. But the rich people are only marrying other rich people. So they're gatekeeping all the secrets. They're gatekeeping all the opportunities and resources. They're gatekeeping it between the two of them already being rich. Basically, they're trying to make sure that they don't have to share their money with a partner because they married someone who's already rich. So when the rich marry rich, is actually a form of extreme greed. Okay, the rich people, celebrities, is supposed to be actually marrying people who they're helping to climb. Like royal people are supposed to be helping other people climb, but these celebrities aren't doing that. They're just marrying other celebrities who've already climbed. So they're in judgment for that, y'all. I'm telling you no lie, okay? They're in judgment for that. They're supposed to be like starting groups with people who aren't rich, and marrying people who aren't rich, or marrying people that they grew up with. Like Kevin Bacon, he married someone he met at the beginning of his career. Both of them weren't even rich when he married her. They were just, you know, becoming really known. So that's why their marriage lasted, because they learned the importance of um, sharing. You know, no, not leading with ego. See, when these celebrities get with other celebrities who are rich, they have ego competitions, and that's why a lot of their marriages don't last, or they break up and get back together, or they got to get counseling and all that type of stuff. So, um, when a rich person marries someone who isn't rich, it's very humbling to them. They learn what it means to be generous and to um, help someone through a marriage. But how much can a person give to each other if you're both filthy rich? See what I'm saying? Um, you're basically just stroking each other's ego. There's no humbleness even needed because you both are filthy rich. You got married to somebody that's rich. So this is why the celebrities always got some wild, cursed, wicked stuff going on with them. Um, drug addictions, divorces, multiple divorces, because they keep on marrying people who see them as expendable because they're marrying another rich person. See what I'm saying? So when the rich marry rich, they don't understand that it's really working against them. They're just thinking money wise, but what they're not thinking is the ego drama that goes on. How that person is not going to be that tolerant because they got just as much money. See what I'm saying? Neither one of them is humbling each other. They both got all that money and fame to throw up in each other's face. Is not a humbling relationship. When you have money and you be with someone else and you got to share that money, is humbling. Hi everybody. Hi everybody. Okay. I know there's a lot of people who are not going to agree with me with this. There's people that's like, there's men with money saying, I'm not trying to marry a poor woman. But if you ever notice, when those men marry a woman that's already well known or established or famous, you ever notice that they say the marriage ended in divorce or something goes wrong? You know, but what they're not saying is the ego problems that was going on. They'll never admit that there was too much pride and ego going on. They'll never admit that that's one of the reasons why their marriage ended. Like Angela, like Brad Pitt and his ex-wife. Okay, both of them being narcissistic. They drove each other crazy. Okay, now Brad Pitt want to go ahead and date this really unknown woman. Okay, now that he's been humbled, he said that he's like humbled, that he quit drinking, that he's like, really balanced now. Now he wants to sit up there and get him, now that he's old and he's wiser, he wants to get him a woman that's just, ain't rich. See what I'm saying? He wasted his his rich youth on a rich woman, and she did the same thing. Hi, everybody. I'm having a good day. Oh, thank you very much. See, that's a common thing that happens. The rich people, when they marry other rich people, they drive each other crazy. They even drive their kids crazy. Why do you think you hear so many stories of the kids up and hurting the rich parents, or you find out that the rich people were living in different mansions. They were married but living apart, like Jada Pickett and Will Smith. See what I'm saying? Because Will Smith was already um, had a lot of money, and Jada Pickett was worth a couple million already, because she had did Demon Night and all that stuff. Now you see how they refuse to let go of that marriage because they're clinging to. She's clinging to the money. See, she's clinging to the money. He should have stayed with the woman who helped him climb. His first baby's mama, his first wife. And he said she was a good wife. Will Smith took the bait and married another famous person. And that was the mistake that he made. He's getting his karma. He cheated on his first wife with Jada Pickett. He admits to he did. He fell for Jada Pickett and all that, flirting with her while he was married to the love of his life. He admitted that his first wife was a good wife. She wasn't famous. See? See the thing? And he didn't understand that that first wife was keeping him humble. I mean, if you ever followed Will Smith's life, you'll see how more arrogant he got in that marriage with Jada Pickett. And so did she. Like, there's only, the creator don't like filthy rich beyond filthy rich. So sitting up there worth 400 million and the other partner's worth 200 million or whatever, Will Smith and Jada Pickett literally owned the whole city. Come on now. And how much do you hear him giving back? You don't hear them giving back much. That's why their relationship is trash. Okay? That's why it's trash. They're held in judgment. They're greed. They're greed. Their kids were bought mansions before they even established their own profitable career. I don't believe in, even if I'm rich, I'm not buying my kid a $2 million mansion and haven't even established their own business, haven't got established. That to me, that's privileged. And that's not raising them right. Hi, everybody. So I'm telling y'all, it might look glamorous like, oh, I'm protecting my money. That's why I'm marrying somebody with money. You're not protecting your money because another person with money, as much money as you, when you divorce, they're going to go for your money because they're about money. They're used to having a lot of money. So they're not trying to take a financial hit in court. They can get a whole lot of lawyers to take some of your money. See what I'm saying? I forget it was 50 Cent. His wife took a big chunk of his money. Um, I forget. It wasn't 50 Cent. It was somebody else. Who the hell was it? And they got like a large amount of money in the divorce. I forget the celebrity couple. Oh, um, what's his name? The one actor that said, "You talking to me?" Taxi Driver. The one famous actor. Or whatever. His wife took a large sum of his money. But see, that's the thing. Marrying other people who are already like rich or well established. That's why there's nasty court battles. You know, big financial payouts. See what I'm saying? And some rich people don't marry people who's not rich is because they don't want to pay for what they did to the person. So like if the rich person cheat and sleep around, a lot of celebrities be cheating on their spouses. If they sleep around and cheat on their spouse who's not rich, they don't want to have to pay in court because they feel like, hey, you didn't bring as much money in the marriage as I have. So So what they'll do is they'll cheat with people who aren't rich, but stay married to somebody who is rich. And to me, that's like wicked. Okay? They're trying so hard to protect their rich money. That's why they try to keep non-rich people as side pieces and mistresses and stuff. Because they don't want to be able to give them a lot of money. See what I'm saying? If they get caught cheating. That's why they don't marry them. They don't want to give $100 million to their spouse who didn't bring that much into the marriage, but yet they cheated and was abusive to that spouse who didn't have the money. See what I'm saying? So it's like, wow. But they think, oh, because if I marry somebody with money, it's safer. Maybe I'll even get more popular, and maybe I could use their name to boost my name up even more to get even more money. See what I'm saying? It's all thinking greed, but then they forget the lack of humbleness in the home, the lack of surrendering and compromise. Okay, neither one of them will compromise because each one is running on financial rich ego. So eventually, neither one gives in. It ends ugly. Somebody hurts the celebrities like hurting their own spouses, rich spouses. What you call, really hiding the fact that they're going, declining because of the toxic ego battles. See, when you climb, you have a personal responsibility to help someone who's at the beginning to climb. Okay? Climbing, you climbed and helping somebody who climbed already. It's you trying to play it safe. It's you thinking you're safeguarding your money. That's what the pharaohs were doing. That's what the pharaohs were doing. Pharaohs was sticking with other pharaohs. Pharaohs from that side of Egypt was side, trading money. They wasn't really helping their people climb like them. They were doing everything to keep their people from even marrying to the money. And we see what happened to Egypt. That's another reason why Egypt was held in such heavy karma. The greed. Hi, everybody. Sorry, y'all. I'm doing my hair while I'm doing this video. Now in America, America is the new Egypt that's in judgment, karma. That energy that was in Egypt became the energy of America when America was colonized and, you know, and civilized. Became when civilization came here. Only thing, the same thing that was going on in Egypt is going on now. The same type of pharaohs, same stuff. They had mistresses who had no money, sleeping with them on the side, but not marrying them, and only marrying women who were princesses and stuff like that. It's the exact same stuff going on. People of color need to stop saying, I'm going to Egypt. You are in Egypt. This is Egypt. The same script, the same energy that was in Egypt is running America right now. All these pharaohs, toxic, doing all type of energy spell work to spend our money, to get us to spend our money, but saying at the same time we're beneath them. We're too good to help climb and marry, but they still want us to buy their stuff. This is why we really need to be putting money into celebrities that's helping people climb. Like, we need to stop making these celebrities richer who don't care about us climbing. This hiding the resources and stuff like that. Purposely marrying their managers who got money and then keeping their managers all to themselves. Their manager husband. Like Mariah Carey. You don't hear of Mariah Carey's manager helping any too many people climb after he married her. Okay? You know, I don't care if Mariah Carey proved she was a better singer in that group or whatever. The bottom line is, out of nowhere, all of a sudden, all he focusing on is Mariah Carey only. Okay? These women be purposely marrying the company money so that they can hog it up. That too. Once they already have a name for themselves. Why you think celebrities keep their conversation down to a minimum when they meet us? You know, the rich celebrities, because they don't want us to ask them questions like, who was your agent? Blah 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 blah. I stopped supporting Janet Jackson when she didn't want to share resources with Tyra Banks for no damn reason but to protect her money. She didn't want Tyra to have as much money as her. That's what that was about. When Tyra was an up and coming, doing real good as a model, starting to do good, and we had the little Tyra talk show, Janet Jackson didn't want to tell her who her stylist was. She got smart with Tyra and said, wouldn't you like to know? I said, I won't buy another thing of Janet's again. Janet knows she has more money than Tyra. So she's competing. That's like passive competing to me. You know, to not even want another woman of color to be as rich as you. No, I dismissed Janet after that. I saw that talk show. I said, I won't buy another thing of hers. I see what she really like. Janet's a gatekeeper too. When Michael died, she went to their old home and took his monument and all that. You know why? Because she wanted the attention on her. She stripped his monumental land. People said they saw her with a truck. She went over there and took it. And as soon as Michael died, she immediately went over to his warehouse full of all that fortune and took it. And I mean, how often do you hear of Janet helping other people climb? It amazes me how people like think so much about Janet Jackson when to me I just see somebody who's a money hunger. She was too good for every man that had a couple million, but she wasn't too good for a billionaire though. See what I'm saying? To her, another millionaire was poor. You know, Tupac, as gifted as he was, she was too good for Tupac. She was too good for this man, that man, who was bringing in just a couple million at the time. To her, that was broke. To her, that was poor, according to her popular Jackson name. She put her eggs on hold to try to give her eggs to the highest bidder. That is literally gross to me. That's gross. I find it the whole situation gross with Janet personally. I could see the foul energy. I could see it in her face, the way she acts, her demeanor. No, 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 no. I see why Michael Jackson distanced himself from them. I could see it. I could see it. Michael Jackson was a giver, and they damn sure ain't. They damn sure ain't. I'm just saying, y'all. He grew up with siblings that were talented, but they sure was overrating themselves. Were money, money, money. Okay, I'm just saying. Why did they take? Why didn't they take? Why didn't they take the fortune that they sold from Never Never Land and start a record label for young artists or struggling artists? That was a lot of fortune in here. They were saying or something. There was people who like said, um, after what happened with Michael Jackson, that Janet proved that all she cared about was money. That she was money hungry the whole time. So let's stop. Let's stop. You know, for example, LL Cool J. How many people did LL Cool J help rise? LL Cool J cheated on his childhood baby mama multiple times. I bet you he wouldn't have did that if he married a rich celebrity. He wouldn't have did that. A black man, he wouldn't have cheated on his rich white wife. He wouldn't have did that. He did that to that poor black woman that he married. He did that because he knew she didn't have no money to take him down in court. And she knew she didn't either. She knew it. He could get better lawyers than her. So, and he probably thought she ain't gonna go nowhere because she didn't gave up her life as my baby's mama. And so I could just keep on cheating, and she'll be there because she didn't come into marriage with any money. That's another thing I don't like. That when celebrities do marry people that don't got no money, they think it's okay to cheat on them. It's not good. Like Snoop cheated on his baby mama who didn't have as much money, wasn't all that rich and stuff, wasn't rich. He did the same thing. Hi everybody. That's why it's like, oh, the celebrities now are like, well, if I do marry somebody that's not rich, they better be ready for an open marriage. Because they don't feed my ego that much because they don't have the money I have. As if, like the money determines whether their spouse is as valuable as them in the marriage. Hi everybody. Yo, I'm doing my hair. I'm gonna check the comments in a minute. Finally got done. I was trying to get this hair done all day so I could just, have it for um have my hair done for the holidays. But yeah, that's what God told me, that it's forbidden. But the celebrities, they don't care. They're doing the same thing they did in Egypt. They think they're going to buy. They think their money. They think their money determines their their place in heaven. Like King Tut. King Tut would have been poor compared to how much money these celebrities make around nowadays. I think King Tut was like worth 200 million or something. So he would have been poor compared to like Will Smith, a lot of celebrities. He would have been poor compared to Mariah Carey. He would have been poor compared to J Lo. She's worth like 300 million, whatever, and Beyonce. He would have been poor compared to Rihanna, who's worth almost $1 billion. Like I have a problem with Rihanna. I understand she want to start a family, whatever, but lady, you're almost a billionaire. Like, what are you doing to support like struggling artists? Like, what are you doing? You're talking to them in the street, but where are your groups at? Where is your organization? Like, where is this at? Do even Kanye, like, what are you doing, Kanye? Like, you took on one, two people, that's it. And then once you made your money, you're like, oh, now you're not for them. Now you're settling down with this woman, y'all. And he married into money, Kim Kardashian. It's just like, wow, now he's with this woman only because Kim Kardashian, exposed him, I guess, his arrogance, and now he's trying to save his name through marrying down or whatever. The celebrities are cursed. All the manipulation tactics they have. Look at how Denzel treats his wife. Everybody want to be like, well, Denzel is married to somebody who wasn't rich. Denzel got lucky. He knew somebody that knew an acting gig. Denzel actually got chosen for an important acting role by luck. His family knew somebody. He's one of those people like who his family knew, and he cuts his wife off. He talks over her. He gets smart, like right there at the red carpet at the microphone. He's like getting smart with her. And I'm like, he's only doing that because he didn't marry somebody rich. That's why he's doing that. Like she'll go to tell the story of like how they met, and he'll go, no, because she won't even get a word out, and he'll be like, no, I'm going to say it because I know what it is. And she'll just be like this scared little woman standing there on the red carpet, like she doesn't want to get into it with him. He has a bad reputation for talking down to staff that's working for films and stuff that he was a lead actor in. Same thing as Will Smith. And it's like that's why back before Will Smith married Jada Pinkett, he actually had a reputation of being nasty to staff. So this is why they're not marrying down, is because we really are down beneath them. And if they do marry us, we better be like total submissive. We better like know our place. We better let them dominate us like Denzel dominates his wife. To keep talking over your wife disrespectfully and saying no because I don't because you don't tell it right and all this stuff. He bulldozes her. He literally steamrolls her and bulldozes her live on the red carpet. And like nobody calls him out on that. But he's Denzel. He's handsome. So hey everybody, that don't matter. See, if you ever pay attention to the interviews of some of these celebrities, you can see how the money has changed them, how the money has given them some sort of arrogance. You will notice it. Hi everybody. Yeah, Janet Jackson on her live talk on Tyra's talk show, because I used to watch Tyra. Tyra was like building Janet up, and Tyra said, your stylist is bad as hell. Like, who is your stylist? And I do gotta give it to Janet. Janet got one of the baddest stylists. I mean, look at her fashion in her videos. She got some of the baddest stylists, but I guess she got the money to, pay for it. But Tyra wanted to know, and she said, "Wouldn't you like to know?" And rolled her eyes. And Tyra, being classy because she was a model, she has to carry herself. So she was like, "Oh, okay." I love the way she handled Janet. She didn't even say, "You don't gotta be a snobby bitch up on my talk show." She just was like, oh, "Okay, I see how you are." After that, I said, "I ain't putting another damn dime into Janet." Janet's from my generation. And I was mad because I used to be Team Janet. We had her records growing up and all of that. My sister, got to go to her concert. But I said, all that time, she had that type of personality. She should have been canceled a long time ago. I would have told Tyra after the show, you know, I'll let you know since you asked me. That was very humble to ask me. We could do some sisterhood exchange business contacts after the show. That's what she could have said. If she didn't want to publicize it on Tyra's show, that's all she could have said. She did not have to be ignorant. I never liked her since. And I don't like Angela Bassett because she's much richer than her husband. But she don't never speak of him. She act like her husband is like this invisible man. It's always Angela Bassett, Angela Bassett. Every time she make appearances, she always got to be out by herself. She's walking down the aisle with her arms out like she wants to be worshipped. You know, um, because she had the money to take care of herself real good to make herself look young. But I don't like the fact that she acts like she did it all by herself to the point where a lot of people didn't even know she was married. She never ever really says thanks to my husband. You know, um, and it's just wow. I watched when I heard Denzel live one day at the Oscars. He did the same thing. He didn't say with the love of my wife. He was like thanking everybody in his family and like not even really saying nothing about his wife. I said every time these are people who got way more money than their spouses. So it's like they're embarrassed. They're like low key. They don't want to give their spouses credit. And I just find that like ignorant. So I said I don't really support Angela Bassett. A empress that never brags or speaks of her husband. There's always like me and always talking about how she aged slow and all her body and all this. This me with Angela. I'm like, I'm good. She's another one I don't support. Cause lady, you had a husband sitting there watching the kids while you was doing all those movies. That's why his career didn't do as good as hers. He didn't make as much money because he was at home with the kids. So it amazes me that she never says, I wouldn't have been this famous. I wouldn't be Angela Bassett without my husband because he, took care of the kids while I'm on acting gigs. It's just wild. I see Angela Bassett as low key also butt kisser, always up under Janet's butt, sniffing up under her butt, trying to, all big old smiles, really just about just connecting with people that got big names and big money, kind of like how Oprah was with Janet. It's amazing how um they don't help women who's not famous but want to snip up under the butt of other really famous women that's more famous than them. It's like, no. Oprah was doing that with Janet, and so was Angela Bassett. And it's like, what did Angela Bassett do? Why are we all cheering for her? How many acting groups has she supported? How many performing arts schools do she go and teach? I met Angela Bassett. She damn sure didn't speak to none of us on the set. When I was an extra in the American Dream movie, Angela Bassett sat down next to all of us young actors and she did not speak to us. My sister will tell you too. She sat down and ate. She didn't even care. She didn't say, "Oh, so y'all want to be actors? You know, here's my agency number." Nothing. She just was like just all into her own food and went about her way. It was like I saw a different side of her. Hi, everybody. So a lot of people might be like, "Oh, she come off nice." I met Angela Bassett. Mm-mm. She came up in the cafeteria on the set of the Jackson movie, and she sat down, literally like right beside me, and everybody was like, Janet, Angela Bassett was sitting right beside you. What happened?" I said, "Absolutely nothing." They're like, "She didn't say nothing. She didn't really talk to you." I said, "Nope, no." And they were like, "She didn't talk to none of us. She just came inside and ate." Okay, so she sat in there just to seem like she was Angela Bassett around us, but not really caring about, being a role model. I've never seen her the same after that. Hi, everybody. Somebody said, "I love the kids acknowledged him in the family interview with Angela Bassett. Her kids did not seem that." Exactly. Exactly. Because Angela Bassett is self-absorbed. She gives me these vibes of someone that thinks that you should pay attention to her. Like she expects you to. That's the vibration that I get from her. Um, like she's trying to, you know, convince you that she is royalty. You know, she gets these disappointed looks when she don't win, as if she's always supposed to win. Like no one else is allowed to win. It's just, it's just funny. Like if another person win and she don't win, she doesn't rush to clap. She just gives this like, like this side eye shade type of look, and then gives this sad look like, "Oh." And I don't like that. She's not a team player. She doesn't seem happy when other black women win. So I don't support her. Nope. No. No. It's time that we start looking at the nature of these people before buying their stuff. Cause when you buy their stuff, your energy going to them, y'all. They getting nourished and fed by your energy. That's why they're so egotistical. Too much worshiping energy coming towards them. Same thing with Mariah Carey. No. Nope. Mariah Carey, she felt like she was too good for black women. I don't like her energy. I don't like how she works so hard to hide her roots of being mixed. I don't like how she does everything possible to hide that side. And to me, it's like all she cares about the money. She doesn't care about authenticity. And I think that's why Nicki Minaj, the way she clowned Nicki Minaj too. It's like, no, I don't like her either. I don't like Mariah Carey. I don't like how she tried to downplay Nicki Minaj. She's one of those women that will, like, you say something brilliant and she'll pretend like you didn't say it because she wants the attention on her. She expects to be the number one diva in the room, everybody listening to. And when she did that to Nicki Minaj was like, "Take this Q-tip and clear the dirt out of your ears." That's what she said to Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey literally sitting like practically right beside her almost, and going to pretend like she didn't say what Nicki Minaj didn't say that. She took the critique. She stole Nicki Minaj's critique and thought Nicki Minaj was not going to check her. See, that's when Mariah Carey did that. I said I knew it. I knew that she thinks that she can get away with anything over a woman of color, that she thinks she's above women of color. She thinks she has the world convinced that she's no longer next. I ain't seen her curly hair since her song Vanishing. Because I bought her first CD, her cassette tape of her singing Vanishing. And then out of nowhere, she marries this manager. And then she comes out like, who is this person? And then she's like, rolling her eyes, acting shady, snooty, snobby, downplaying any woman that got less money than her, doing this on The Voice and live. I don't like her. She's another one. That's why she also married a billionaire. That's why it's another one who did it. And I don't mean no harm. I know Nick Cannon had his problems in our marriage, but I can't imagine what he dealt with. Probably wanted to just chill and keep it real, but probably had to walk on eggshells with her diva acting energy all the time. No. I'm just saying, I don't sense no humbleness with Mariah Carey. I don't sense it. She another one. She's totally different. See, some of y'all wasn't born when Mariah Carey first came out. I was. I was old enough. I was a teenager. This is not the Mariah Carey that Generation X knows. This ain't her. This is somebody else. She done whooped and distorted her personality. Hi, everybody. Yep, the creator does not like trying to get money, enough money to just be like, oh, I could just treat people any kind of way. No. There's another celebrity that that has that same type of energy to them with all that money. I forget who. Michael Keaton had that. I mean, not Michael Keaton, the one guy, I forget his name, from The Usual Suspects. But it caught up to him. He thought he can disrespect young boys and sexually harass young boys and treat people with less money, worse than him. It all came back. Like, it caught up with him like 10, 20 years later. See what I'm saying? And now he's talking about, oh, he's practically like he's living homeless almost. That's what he's saying, but that's his karma. Whoopi Goldberg's another one. That ain't the same Whoopi Goldberg either. That ain't the same. All she talk about is money. Yeah, I'm trying to make money, and it's what I'm doing, and I'm going to keep on working, and I just because I'm not saying I'm poor, but I'm just saying I could use the money. I'm like, you could use the money, and you're like worth a couple $100 million, like Whoopi Goldberg. Really? She got checked on that in an interview. I said she didn't lost respect for her support. Fans and lost respect for her. She tried to say that she was basically speaking away like she was struggling. You're not struggling. You're worth with a couple $100 million. You have PhDs and stuff. Lady, you're not struggling at all. But she tried to like speak as if she know what it's like to, have to work and eat money. She tried to compare herself to the 9-to-5 job workers. I said, see, there it is again. I'm not quitting The View because I need the money and I need to, I got things I want to pay for and stuff. I'm like, yeah, okay. What, another mansion? I said, wow. She ain't the same Whoopi Goldberg either. She used to be funny, outgoing, silly Whoopi Goldberg. Now, she's like kind of dominant with her energy. She tries to dominate the room But see, that's the problem when you're just sitting on hundreds of millions of dollars. There's no reason to think you need to be humble. There's no automatic humbleness when you don't give back enough. Hi, everybody. Like, I don't like that black lady comedian girl that was on The View with Whoopi Goldberg either. I forget her name. She's another one that likes to sit on Facebook and brag. Yeah, why can't I get a man? I'm rich and this and that. Because you know what? That's why you ain't getting no man. Because you bragging about your money. Okay? You could get a man. You're saying, why can't you get a rich man? And you're rich. That's what you really want to say. Because a rich woman could get a man. She just don't think hardworking men, regular men, is worth her money. That's what it is. You single by choice. A rich woman is single by choice. Let's keep it real here. That's that known damn well. She don't have to be single. She was on there. She was on there basically trying to make it seem like, oh, no man ever wants her. She never can't even get a date. No, that's not it. She wanted another rich man. Just like Solange, I mean, not Solange, the other black lady from Love and Basketball, she's another one. She thinks she's above marriage. I like just being able to spend my money and do what I want. I date, but I'm not trying to um, I don't need a man to define me. I'm like, sister, that's not what it is. That's not what it is. What it is you don't even want to share your money with a rich man. You want to sit up there and sleep with men that don't got as much money as you and have no obligation. That's what it is. I don't respect her that had all that money and saying she too good for marriage. No. No. And she came from money. Her dad was like someone that was already well established, well known and stuff. So basically she's like a spoiled brat. She's a black woman that grew up with money that didn't even have to earn her way in. She already had the resources and contacts from her dad. So she feels privileged. Like, I don't have to worry. She don't see marriage as beneficial since she came from money. And as I said, look at them. They all saying that. There's a lot of black women in Hollywood saying they either want to marry somebody a lot richer than them. That's what they saying. Or they can't find a man. Hi, everybody. Let me just see here if my family's coming over. It's disturbing when I hear filthy rich black women say, I don't want no husband. I be like, woo, child, you don't care about putting money into the black community. Like, wow. Like, wow. You just want to go, you just want to buy men. You want to get regular men and you want to go, you want to pay for the vacations and the trips. So basically, you're a female trick. You low key tricking. You want to pay for everything for the man, sleep with him, and then send him home. The same stuff that you probably was complaining about when you were young. You're doing exactly to men the same damn thing, and you thinking you could do it because you're rich. Y'all be I don't care. Any woman is filthy rich and saying I don't need no husband. I say I hear the word hoe. Closet hoe. That's what I hear. That's what I hear. You don't want to care about body count. That's what it is. You over 40. The lady from Love and Basketball, she always want to shade about getting married. She always want to shade it. How the heck she's like 50 and talking about dating. Okay, you want to just keep on sleeping with your sensitive pH, dating around, sleeping around. Shocking. When I hear a 50-year-old woman say that is filthy rich, I'd be like, ew, like what's your coochie like? I bet it stink. like serious, because like when you're an older woman, your pH is too sensitive to be date hopping and racking up body count. Like how is she even managing that? Like dating. She says she dates different guys. I'm like, okay. That's just wild. Like to be that afraid, like, I just don't want to lose my money in a marriage. You're not going to lose your money in a marriage if you're not abusive and you're not cheating. So just don't cheat and don't be abusive. Period. Don't step out. And if you do, if they divorce, as long as you don't cheat and step out, then they don't get more than they're supposed to get. That's it. They're not gonna rip. They're not gonna take a lot of money from you. The judge can, because you did right. They didn't do right, obviously, if they're just ending the marriage, something on their end, without counseling. What it is the rich people who don't get married, they wanna secretly hoe. That's what it is. And they want to just, keep that going on. Like the black lady, the African girl, Lupita. No. Mm-mm. Well, she going on 50 and she's still out here talking about dating. I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying. She going into menopause and saying, oh, she don't care. She don't want no kids. She don't want no husband. Okay. She want to get ran through at 50 years old. No. Going on 50 in her 40s. Hi, everybody. She be dating. Everybody say all that about Lupita, like Lupita this, Lupita that, but she was sleeping with Leonardo DiCaprio. Come on, y'all, now. He's one of the biggest hoes in celebrity world. And he literally was with Lupita, too, when she was, like, in the modeling. And she doesn't, I guess she don't want nobody to know, but it came out. And it's like, okay. She's still in that energy? No. It's hard for me to take her seriously especially as an African woman, and knowing what her country has gone through. The fact that she's not trying to, you know, have kids and pass that money down, it's like shocking. Or at least adopt kids. So I guess she just wants to die with the money. I don't know, y'all. It's wild. I know people say not everybody want to have kids, but like this man said, if you're rich and you don't want to have kids, you probably need to be taxed more. Probably need to be taxed more, because you purposely ain't having kids because you want to just sit there with millions and millions of dollars just hoarding money. That's how I see it. The rich people need to have a no kid having tax, so they could learn the hard way. Like, you're not just going to hoard all this money. All right, y'all, I'm going to head on out. I'm going to do a part 2 of this video. If y'all enjoyed this video, feel free to let me know. All right, bye, y'all.